Now, with the cholera death toll at 17 and scores of people still in hospital, the city of Tshwane will release a report into the causes of the outbreak. There will also be input from the health and the water and sanitation departments as well. But our reporter eNCA's Pule Letshwiti-Jones is following this story and joins us now for a quick update. Pule, good to have you back, colleague. I understand that you are still at the National Water Sector Sustainability Symposium. Anything come out as yet as to how exactly government is planning on solving this problem?
Well, interesting enough is that the Minister of Water and Sanitation, Senzo Mkhunu, of course, has admitted that the cholera outbreak in Hammanskraal could have been avoided. He says this is a situation that has been looming for years before, and the city was supposed to have seen that this situation would have led to the death of about 17 people due to the outbreak. But of course, moving forward, they are saying that this is not just a talk shop. There will be the Department of Water and Sanitation will be meeting the mayor of the city of Tshwane, Celia Brink, to try and pave a way forward as to how they can resolve the issue of the Rooiwal water project, which has stalled due to not having enough money. We know of a company that received about 300 million before to try and complete phase 1 of the project. However, there have been challenges around that issue and allegations of the company not having met the correct procurement requirements. And therefore, we now have seen the city putting aside 450 million as a pledge to try and kickstart phase 2 of the Rooiwal water project. But this meeting on Friday, which is tomorrow, will be important because this is where the city will then ask for assistance from the Department of Water and Sanitation to try and help them with the capital resources to pump in more money into the project to ensure residents of Hammanskraal have clean water. Now, just for a bit of context, we do know that there's been an ongoing court case between the Department of Water and Sanitation and, of course, the city of Tshwane, in which the government is trying to compel the city of Tshwane to provide clean water to the residents of Hammanskraal and not use the timber plantation, which of course the city had been using to provide water to the residents of Hammanskraal. So those are some of the dynamics that have been outplaying in the background. But I just wanted to take a listen to what the minister had to say earlier on regarding the situation in that area, Hammanskraal.
And the crisis that we're experiencing via that area is a stark reminder that our main challenge may as well be on water services management and sustainability of the current management systems that we are dependent on. We've lost 17 lives. And even if you sit alone and think very carefully, the inevitable question that comes is, could it not have been avoided? And the inevitable answer is that it could have been avoided. It gets even echoed by another answer that says that not only yesterday, but long ago, it could have been avoided long ago.
Pule, the minister reiterating that this could have been avoided a long time ago. I'm sure the residents of Hammanskraal would at least agree with the minister, purely because they have been laying complaints for many years now about the quality of the water they have been receiving.
In fact, the experts are saying this issue stems as far back as 2005. When this was the ANC administration in the city of Tshwane. But residents are complaining that the DA administration, which took over in 2016 under the leadership of then Mayor Solim Simanga, did not fast-track the process of resolving the issue. And therefore, what we're seeing within the political arena in the metro is that the ANC is blaming the DA and the DA is blaming the ANC. And the EFF is blaming both parties. So there's a lot of politicking that's happening around. We saw what happened in the Tshwane Council yesterday, where the budget speech was disrupted, where the EFF staged a picket inside council when the MMC for Finance, Peter Sutton, was expected to deliver the budget speech. So at the end, residents just want services, but also we cannot ignore the fact that there are these political dynamics that are unfolding. And what the minister is actually trying to say here is that they did warn the city of Tshwane as well previously to work with the national government to try and resolve this issue, but the city of Tshwane did not come to the fore and honor the agreements and of course the discussions which were had between themselves and the Department of Water and Sanitation. But what I can tell you now is that the mayor, Celia Brink, has committed himself to say they will be working with the national government, because this is a situation which is long overdue and it's a crisis which is costing human lives and has to be resolved urgently.
It's unfortunate that it had to take 17 lives for that decision to be taken, Pule. But I mean, going back to Mayor Celia's Brink conceding that they would be meeting with the national government, with the minister as well on Friday. This, of course, he says, is because the city has only 450 million rands budgeted, right? This is what they can afford. It seems the costs to be incurred could go up to over 2 billion rand. And this is where also a national government has to come in. Besides the interventions and resolutions, I suppose it's the resource factor, the financial factor, where, of course, the help of the national government, in this instance, the minister and his department, would be needed.
Definitely. It would take the city about 5 years if they were to rely on their budget, annual budget, to try and fix the situation in Hammanskraal. Now, that's a little too late. This matter is one that has to be resolved urgently. That's according to the mayor of Tshwane, Celia Brink. And the city's budget is about 2.3 billion rand. Now, required to fix the project, like you're saying, correctly saying, is over 2 billion, which is about 2.5 billion rand. And therefore, that's why the city says it will be relying on capital from the private players within the private sector and, of course, from government to try and make sure that they can fast-track the process of fixing the Rooival water plant, which will ensure the distribution in the process of clean water to the residents of Hammanskraal. So probably it's what's going to be at the on the talks in terms of the mayor meeting the minister tomorrow. But we're also now aware that the portfolio committee, the Department of Water and Sanitation, will be in Hammanskraal tomorrow to try and monitor and play an oversight role as to what could have been the problem, where this comes from, and what could be the solutions. But again, Dumelo, we know that in 2019, the South African Human Rights Commission did conduct, its own research and, of course, processes, which did reveal that the water in Hammanskraal was unfit for consumption. And we also now know that there are other lawyers' associations which are trying to, take the municipality to court over what they call a humanitarian crisis which is brewing, which has been ignored for quite some time. So those are the dynamics at play, but the city is racing against time to get that proper funding to ensure that they resolve the issue in Hammanskraal.